Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I am Sunny Pancholi, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions, by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry heavyweight on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. M.A. Jayachandra. As a highly accomplished professional with over 3 decades of experience in various aspects of project planning, execution, and management across diverse industries, he has demonstrated expertise in project engineering, procurement, techno-commercial operations, safety management, and business leadership. With a successful track record of managing both greenfield and brownfield projects, he has consistently played a significant role in the solar power industry and project management domain. Currently, he is giving his services to Jarka Radiance Renewable Systems Private Limited in the capacity of a promoter and a director. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, Mr. Jayachandra.
Thank you very much.
So to begin with, could you let our viewers know about your career journey so far, reaching your current position at Jarka Radiance Renewable Systems Private Limited?
Yeah. See, in 1988, when I graduated out from Bangalore University, I joined as a trainee in one of the public sector, which is BEL, Bharat Electronics Limited. But it was a very short stint. And with an urge to be away from home. I am born and brought up in Bangalore and studied in Tumkur. I wanted to be away from home and gain outside experience. So I started moving out from Bangalore in BEL. Then I joined Hotline Teletubes in Gwalior, and then Parshuram Priya Industries in Silvassa. And both away from my home, and being a South Indian, getting into a North Indian ambience and the culture, it was very experience. Lending my lot of experience on the outer field. So that gave me experience on the brownfield engineering, because both were one was electronic manufacturing, another one is a synthetic fiber unit. So the products were different and the experiences were different, and it was in-house project team. Which I was joined as a shift engineer, and then I joined as I graduated to a project engineer, senior project engineer, that kind of developments. And it gave me a lot of experience on the brownfield engineering. So refitment into a working plant was a really great experience in terms of engineering and project management. Then I moved to gain an experience in the consultancy division, where engineering consultancy. So I joined Thapar Chemtex Consultancy Limited, which is Chemtex of US and Thapar of India, was a joint venture. They were global leaders in the consultancy division for paper and pulp industry and chemical industry. It was a process-based industry consultancy. So I gained the engineering project management. Managing the engineering of a greenfield project was the highlight of that learning. So then I moved on to Web India Limited, which is again a joint venture of Jervis P Web of US, as well as Vinar Systems in Calcutta, which was manufacturing EPC of the process-based automated conveyors, majorly in the automobile industry. Almost all the car manufacturers in India, I have been in the project for establishing their conveyors, automated conveyors, which carry the board right from paint shop to the finishing. So this gave a lot of engineering, fitment, and the automation of the processes. So there I was heading as a chief manager in Web India Limited, and did a lot of projects in various process industries. There, the world was waking up to renewable energy at that time. It was in 2000, 2002. Renewable energy was started and the world was getting woken up for adopting the renewable energy. That is where I got a chance in Tata BP Solar, where it was a joint venture between Tata's as well as the British Petroleum. So I joined as a senior manager projects, not knowing what a mechanical engineer can do in a renewable segment. I was really blank when I joined. Because of my multi-exposure, multidisciplinary exposure in the projects, I could get through that opportunity, and then I started working on the renewable industry. That is my starting in the renewable segment. The challenge was the adoption of technology and the deployment of products into rural area, because solar at that time was only meant for off-grid areas. And the logistics challenge, the skilled manpower to deploy those products. The product was, of course, it's very good products were there, but deploying that and reaching it to the end user in the remotest part of India was really a challenge, because all the products were meant for off-grid. And secondly, the most of these projects were the government funded projects. So it also came with a lot of documentation requirement, which is for the proof of deployment, proof of functioning, proof of concept. There are so many documentation which was also needed. So that challenge I went through successfully, and then made a lot of benchmarks in those time for establishing and running the projects. I mean, the sizes and the sizes were very less, but the volume was too high. And the reach across India, I think all corners of India, right from Leh to Kanyakumari and left on Shimla, from Punjab to this Meghalaya and the Northeastern, all across India I traveled through, and then deployed those solar products into the field. So that is where I accomplished some stage in the industry. Then I wanted to try academics, because my family comes through an academic background. Almost all my brother, father, most of them are in the academic field as teachers. So we as a family, we own some schools. So in that, I wanted to try an academic segment, and the family decided to start an engineering and management institute. So I joined as an executive director there, and took right from scratch, right from the approvals for establishing an institute and building construction of buildings for all the laboratory and the academic requirements, and rolling out the batches of engineering and management. So that gave me, I mean, it was a pleasant academic stint of almost around 5 years, which went through right from building the institute and seeing the young engineers and management graduates rolling out. But the ambience in corporate and ambience in academic is different. I mean, the pace is different. So having accustomed to the industrial or corporate pace, I think the academic pace, I was, after the establishment, after the project is through and the regular academic started, I felt, I think the life is going slow. So I switched back. In fact, I had taken a sabbatical from Tata BP Solar and then started this, keeping an option to come back. So I joined back Tata Power Solar by that time, because at that time BP had left the JV. Tata was fully owning the solar segment, which is Tata Power Solar. So, and also the solar has grown by that time with small products to the projects level and the utility level. Now, whatever we are seeing in the megawatt scale or the gigawatt scale of deployment has started at that time when I joined back, and then started again, lent my expertise at learning into the larger projects of the project size in the Tata Power Solar. So all through my career, we went through the project and execution, logistics management, skill development, contractor development, contract management, and these are the areas where I professed. And at that time, another opportunity came to me to lead the business, business as a whole. So I got an opportunity from Sterling and Wilson, which is a Shapoorji Pallonji group, company, which was into solar, which was already made its name in the larger utility segment, but they wanted me to head a business vertical, which is for the smaller segment, which is commercial and industrial segment, which is rooftops and smaller installations. So the challenge was to build the engineering team, build the execution team fit for the smaller, small scale segment, because the company was already there very much into the large scale. But the small scale had its own issues, its own challenges. So there I took over as the business head, and then led that vertical, built the team, did the projects for almost 6 years. So there, and by the time already I had spent almost around 30 plus years in the industry, right from after my graduation. So I thought I should try my entrepreneurial skills now. So I mean, as an employee, I thought it is enough of being an employee now. Now let us become an employer. So that's the change which I wanted, and that is when in the last April, around 1.5 years back, I promoted along with one of my learned colleague who is also experienced in solar for around 30 years. So along with him, we both promoted this Jarka Radiance Renewable Systems Limited, which is in Bangalore, and we also offer the same C&I segment, solar power generating plants for the customers. We are entering into residential also slowly, and that is how now I am the director and promoter. We have built a small engineering team and the execution team. We are working. The first year was a successful break-even, as well as a small profit was shown, and then so that is how we have. Right now, I have a pipeline of around 8 to 9 crores of worth of business built in last 3 months in this financial year. Looking good, and all the experience which I gained in last 30, now it is almost 35 years of my after graduation, is coming into a full circle, and then I am trying to deploy that. My main aim is in this entrepreneurial journey is to train the graduates, and to develop the skill and transfer what we have learned to them in a smaller and in a concise way. So all my team whom I have taken is not from the field, not from the experience. I have just taken all the fresh graduates and diploma holders, and then every day spending our time in full in giving them the knowledge, and then giving them the training to do their job. So I think the team is picking up well. We are very happy, and then our whatever the experience has given us, we are happy that we are transferring it to another team and then building that team. So this is my journey till now, right from graduation.
Mr. Jayachandra, thank you for the excellent start to this interview. And it's an honor to interact with someone who exudes such a strong corporate personality. Continuing our conversation, we would like to know, which is the most significant achievement you have made in your professional journey so far?
See, it's in the whole 35 years of journey, if you see, it's very difficult to pinpoint one or two experience as my most enjoyable experience or the significant experience. But still, I think if I have to choose two best, I would like to choose. One is during the solar in the initial years, that is in 2000, first session of my Tata BP, the rural electrification, the smaller power plants making the power to the villages, the remotest villages, and getting lights for the entire village, okay, through a small power plant, a battery bank, and then distribution of power. So those things were done in UP, remotest was this thing of Orissa as well as Chhattisgarh. So there was, it is like 300 villages, 200 villages kind of projects. Parallelly running with so much of teams running around and supplies. The happiest part was that when we see the beneficiaries happy getting the light after 50 years of independence, that was overwhelming. That gave a sense of satisfaction for us that we have done something. Of course, It was funded by government. It was done by the project, and we had a big company behind us to do the project. But as an individual, it gave a lot of satisfaction that yes, we have been in the growth journey of the country, and we have joined. I think I was before leaving to academic. I think we had completed almost around 200 to 250 villages in Chhattisgarh. That was the biggest achievement which I can still remember and then enjoy. The second one is, of course, in the academic field, which was my anyhow family venture, and then it was the building an institution, engineering institution, learning the entire thing of AICT requirements and then lab requirements, equipments, academic recruitment of academicians, and then building the entire process for running an engineering, because we never had any experience in any engineering institute. We were having only the primary and secondary education in our family. But putting everything into this thing and then holding that entire academicians, because when you call academicians, most of them will be PhD holders, doctorates, and they have to be handled as a management. So that was really another fulfilling experience, which I can say, which I have achieved. And then 2 or 3 batches have rolled out of management as well as engineering. That is when I came out. So that was another happy and an enjoyable moment. I can say significant work which I can remember.
Okay, Mr. Jayachandra. So building on that, our viewers would like to know, what principles do you live by that help you in your day-to-day professional life?
Yeah. See, in my first experience, when I left BEL and joined one joint venture of Kionix. Kionix is Karnataka Government Electronics Development Corporation. And there was a joint venture with another private company to build the picture tubes. That at the time the TV had just come in, and then a lot of television companies were coming up. Okay, so the manufacturing of television picture tube, now it is LCD and LED. At that time it was vacuum tubes. Okay, this was, I am talking of 1988 and 1992, that range of time. So I joined that Kionix joint venture company, and I had a chance to be in Japan for around 10 weeks for a training with Nippon Electric Glass, that NEG or NEC, Nippon Electric Company. So they were the technology suppliers and the equipment suppliers for that project, which was in Bidar, in Karnataka. So there, the disciplinary or whatever, the values what we tell in corporate segment right now, I saw in my first assignment itself. The time consciousness and the dignity of labor, and the precisionness, or we can say the accuracy and transparency. See, this working with Japanese in the early has molded me into a person with time sense. In Japanese, if they say it is 10:31, it is 10:31. It is not 10:32. It is not 10:30. They say that I will come at this time. It is at that time. That's it. Okay, so the sense of time and valuing the opposite person's time, the other person's time, is very, very important in corporate. I think that will give you value to any of your disbursement. Even if you are late, even if you have, even if you are not done certain job, you could not do some job, or you have some difficulty, rising and then appropriately giving feedback at the right time. The sense of time is very, very important, and you should honor. If you have given time to somebody, you should honor that time. Otherwise, you will be wasting your time as well as their time. So this is one value which got built into my blood from that tribe. Second thing is transparency. Whatever you do, be transparent with your peers, with your higher ups, or with your lower cadre. So then the people will believe, and they also will come back to you for any feedback or support or anything, because knowing that you will be transparent and you are not hiding it. Okay, so the transparency and the time, these are 2 things. Third thing is accuracy. Whatever you do, please do it accurate. Let us not build up certain thing for the time. Okay, today at 11 o'clock, I have to do something. Let's do something. No, it has to be accurate. It has to be known what purpose you are doing something and whether the purpose is being served. So that accuracy or that kind of level of homework is required for any activity which you do. Third one. The fourth value which I built is the dignity of labor. I think in Japan, they don't care what is your designation. They don't care who are you. They don't care what are you up to. They know you are as a human being. Anybody in any corporate segment, in any assemblies or any this thing, is a human being who are interacting. That is one value which has to be, I think now, because of lot of hierarchical breakdown in our corporate segment. I think this one I always see missing. See that particular exposure to me gave, built up my interpersonal skills. How you behave, how you talk to people, how you enjoy with the people, whoever who is around you. Okay, that is why right throughout my career, I had no issues in mingling with any level of people, be it a managing director, be it any other person, or be it the workman or the fitter or this thing who is on the ground working level. So my interactions and my communications with them were always full circle, and then everybody was happy to mingle with me. Even I was happy to mingle with anybody without any hesitation of any of hierarchical breakdowns. So this four values, I think the timeliness, accuracy, dignity of labor to the fellow, and then the precision. These, I think, always gave me value, and that is, I think, those are the stepping stones for my career. And then I grew in any industry I went. I never felt that I failed or I am a misfit there. So that's, and my experience, as I told in the beginning, that right from different industry, wherever I went, the products were different, the systems were different, but I was successful. I myself felt happy when I moved out of that organization for my better prospects. So that's how I think the value proposition in my first experience gave the best foundation for me. That's, I am indebted to that training session of 10 weeks, which I had in that.
Rightly said, Mr. Jayachandra. Okay, moving along, we would like to know that as you have been on a board before, do you believe that the corporate governance measures offered by the government is adequate to support the corporate fabric?
Yeah. See, right now, in my last employment, I came into the most close to the board level operations in my last employment as a business head in Sterling and Wilson. I was not directly on the board, but I was nominated as one of the key management personnel, KMP, what we call, which was there in our prospects and other this thing. We were all bound by the board compliances and other things. So we were exposed to so much of this thing, corporate governance activities into that, and we were directly responsible for many of the operational the compliances and the audits, and then internal audit teamwork, and then the corporate compliances, as well as the audit committee processes. So these things, which are as the corporate governance measures, which the government, in that act which comes, I think they are sufficient. They are they gave a well bandwidth coverage for governing any organization with a very good scheme of things, as well as boundaries. Very nicely set boundaries are there, and then I think this is sufficient. This gives the corporates to manage their this thing very legally and ethically.
All right. So before we conclude our discussion on corporate governance, I would like to ask you, as an ESG and corporate governance expert, what values do you bring to the table?
See, particularly the ESG, the social governance, as well as the environment and social governance. See, this is earlier we used to follow it as HSE, which was called Health, Safety and Environment. Of course, what any industry, what damage it is doing to the environment, or what goodness it is giving to the environment in which it is working, is very important. Any organization should know that what is my standing in the environment, and what I am doing for the environment, what things I can control what is good for the environment, what is not good for the environment, how we control, and what are the measures, and what are the fundamentals with which we can calculate that and know, because everything should undergo some metrics. Correct. There should be some measurement. I mean, I am an environmental friendly doesn't mean that I'm environmental friendly unless there is a metrics, and then unless I know that I am reducing the emission, I am reducing the carbon footprint, I am helping the organization, or I am adopting all the other mechanisms available to reduce or to use the this thing. What is it? Fuels and other things to the lesser effect, and how I can reduce the carbon footprint. So, and the safety. So I think once we start doing, safety joins along with that in the operational management. If you see, the safety is very, very important. Once you start controlling all this activity, the natural outcome or the byproduct will be the safe operations and methodical operations. I think there will be a lot of SOP will get into picture, a lot of controls will be there, a lot of measures which you will know yourself that I'm wrong here. Okay, those things will be there. I think I will be able to, I mean, what I feel that any activity which I take up, I will see whether I am doing something wrong or I am doing anything shortcut in achieving any of my goals. Okay, by harming any other people or any other organization or the environment, or is it correct or ethical way to move ahead? And then where I can save, where I can be optimum, where I can be economical. So this thought process will come to us the moment we think of ESG process. Okay, I think I will be using, and I will be able to help the organizations in getting into that footprint.
Absolutely. So moving ahead, my next is on technology, since it has become an integral part of our lives. So we would like to know, what are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in your field with changes in technology? And what changes do you foresee with the advent of IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, big data, Web 3.0, etc., etc.?
Yeah, see, technology, of course, it is a constant evolving feature, correct? And I will limit this thing to my solar industry, which is around, which I am almost spent around 20 years. Of course, in all the fields, technology is improving. In all the activities, technology is doing gains. See, in solar, what I saw right from when we were initially, the solar came into picture, it was around 8%, 9% efficiencies, and then a lot of unwieldy things were there. Means which we were not aware how it is to be done. So we were wasting a lot of steel, we were wasting a lot of cables. I mean, a thorough SOP was not into picture. When in the advent of technology, as the efficiency started increasing and the demand for solar started increasing, the demand for reduced prices, and then bringing it more economical, bringing it to grid parity was highlighted. Because otherwise, generating power with 3 times what your grid can offer to you, I mean, you will not have any takers. So that is why the technology there was a constant improvement, and every time there was a change, and then reduction of cost, reduction of materials, reduction of the processes. And then when we say reduction of cost, of reduction of process and materials, it indirectly impacts all the other the wasteful utilization, okay, of resources will also come down. So the one is on the technology. On the product front, the developments have grown, and then now it has come to a fantastic 23-24% of efficiency kind of modules, and then a lot of downstream, or what we call balance of systems, other than solar module. All the inverters, efficiency, they have all increased. But the most significant contribution by this internet, as well as the IoT or this IA, artificial AI, as well as the ML or database management and other thing, has come in measuring these things. See, once you put up a plant, and then if there is no proper measurements and the fault recognitions, okay, so then the operating efficiency of the plant will not be known. So significantly, this remote monitoring devices or the software and small equipments, which electronics, which came into picture, which take data from all the installed equipments, okay, and then analyze on the background, use the AI tools as well as the database management and this ML tools to analyze and then pinpoint where the problems are there, where the fault levels are there, which has to be attended fast for the this thing. And also having the investors as well as the owners of the plant to know the status of the plant from wherever they are sitting. So these remote monitoring systems or the software, SCADA, what we call, is one of the greatest development in this IoT segment. Okay, that is giving now anybody, I can, whatever the plant I have put up, I can sit in my desk and then see the performance, real-time performance. Today morning, what is the generation, whether it is as per the designed parameters or is there any fault, whether the fault is being attended, how much time the fault has existed before it is rectified. So all those things can be seen right now with the help of this remote monitoring system or this IoT platform. And coming to this AI and ML, this thing, right now the systems are coming up to further deep dive into that individual parameters and then analyze the minutest fault, as well as even a small improvement of 0.3%, 0.4% of the daily operational efficiency is also not being left out, which is otherwise, I mean, in the absence of these tools, it would not have been possible. So that is why it is playing a very, very important role in particularly in the solar plant management. Coming to the other part like project management or the operations management or even the services, this QR codes as well as this access to this thing, what is that, our instruments from anywhere, and then accessing them, getting it into repair mode, getting the this thing, project management tools, all these things which have developed through this I mean, what is that, this programming and this IT development has really changed any even not necessarily, I mean, IT not necessarily restricted to IT companies, because IT companies are always work for the other process industries to improve, whether it is banking, whether it is process industry, whether it is background maintenance of all the inventory or the entire ERP schemes in this thing like managing the inventories or the supply chain management. All these places, these tools have gone in. Okay, I think the people are using it, and it is giving every day there will be something new that you can adopt and then manage. So I really enjoy working with and adopting these things in our daily routines.
Okay, so that was so insightful of you, Mr. Jayachandra. That brings us to the last question of the session and the very important one. We are building a community of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So what are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the whole team of World Development Corporation?
Yeah, see, after getting designated as a key managerial personnel in Sterling and Wilson, I started thinking at that time how these directors get into the board. Are they supposed to be, I mean, that was the fundamental question which I had, whether are they supposed to be the close relatives of the existing directors, or how is that? So I was really wondering. And then I because I keep a lot of studies, I mean, in the corporate segment and the acts which come up. So this independent directors, women directors, and these things started, I mean, getting more popular. So that is where we started hearing that so and so is hired for as an independent director. So I mean, then I realized, yes, there is a way that the eligible persons or the people with a lot of eminence in the field will be taken by any board as the independent directors or the women directors. So those things were the requirement of the act, correct? So that I came to know, and then I was searching where I should get into this, or is there any course, or is there anything, how to approach and this thing. So then I came across this Directors Institute. So I think I without seeing any other, with the first session itself, Zishan's explanation was fantastic. And then it answered my all questions I had. It was roaming in my mind. So then I thought this is the right course or the platform which I should take into, and then get through some study, and then get into this and try my chance. The way I can put it is that I really think that I can contribute to any board, okay, of which see me as capable or my experience, because I have gone through the multidisciplinary exposure in the whole industry in the last year, whether it is project, whether irrespective of the product, irrespective of the size of the company. Okay, I have worked and I feel that how I can contribute. Okay, whether be it the operational excellence, be it the compliances on the field or as well as off the field, and the audit committee, this thing, because entire I have gone through the supply chain management exposures and the operational exposures. These things where I can contribute into any board based on their operational SOPs, because that so any product or any particular process doesn't hold me in putting my experience, because I can relate immediately and I can gauge what is the sequence of activities which has to happen or which is required to happen. So that is where I think this the entire course which I went through was fantastic, and then it was so neatly established session after session that I should complete this. I should know certain things before I mean, what is preceding activity and succeeding activity when we call in planning. So I should know something before I study something else next. So that in that sequence, the course is very well organized. I really thankful to Zishan, and I think his explanation also is thoroughly enjoyable. I mean, any sessions, of course, we get some. We have to sit down and then spend time. That's on our part. Definitely, I have done. Now I am in the mock test level, but the initiative is fantastic, and it gave answers. There are many capable people, okay, who can contribute to the corporate world, but they will not know how to enter into a board and then contribute there or share their experience or give the experience to, their knowledge, transfer the knowledge to the coming community, down below. So this particular Directors Institute definitely is making trends. And then last week I was traveling to Mumbai. Somebody was sitting next to me, and then he just we started some conversation, and then he started, I think there is one Directors Institute which is coming up. I don't know how I should. I told I am already a student there, and you can jolly well take it because it gives you a lot of experience. He told, then he took a lot of inputs from me, and he told I will enroll next week. I don't know, you must have done now, but the thing is getting the identification and also recognition. It's a good job. I think I am enjoying, and definitely I think it will be helpful to me for contributing, and particularly as a director in my own company now, it has given me a lot of insights what I should give. I becoming an independent director in some other company is the second stage. The present itself, it is helping me to run my own company and to see what is important, what I should do, what are the small things, what are the big things which I should segregate and then work on. So I really happy, and then it's a very good exercise. I think thanks to Jason and the other personnel on the board in Directors Institute.
Great. It was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire the future leaders. Thank you, Mr. M.A. Jayachandra, for joining us today. Wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute has unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.